Hello there. How are you doing? I trust this video finds you doing well. If not, do what you gotta do to get better, as long as it's within the law. Now that that's out of the way, I have a question for you. Are you wondering, what things that you need to consider when writing a short story versus writing a novel? Well, if so, you are in the right place because I've got 10 things for you. So be sure to stay to the end so you don't miss out on anything. And now, without further ado, I'm going to stop messing around and get right to it. Right after I take a sip of coffee. But anyway, number 1, scope of the story. With a short story, you are exploring one central theme or plot, line and or emotional beat. You don't have the time to go through all sorts of details and descriptions of the settings or why a slipstream drive works the way it does. That is, of course, assuming you're writing a science fiction story. Even with the main characters, you simply don't have time in a short story to dive deep into their backstories. But, however, with a novel, you can go as deep as you want. Backstories of the main character in a novel. You can, and in fact do need to dive deep into their backstories without doing info dumps throughout the story. What brought them to where they are in their life, and what wounds do they have or anything along those lines. In a novel, you can peel back the layers of the politics of a region, where appropriate to do so. And now, number 2, your length and word count. Generally, a short story is about under 7,500 words, although the length can vary depending on what type of short story you do. For microfiction, you are doing generally under 100 words. Flash fiction is 100 to 1,000 words. Short story, 1,000 to 7,500 words, or possibly even 10,000 words. A novelette can be between 10,000 to 20,000 words. A novella, 20,000 to 50,000 words in length, while a full-length novel can be over 50,000 words. Remember, though, these are general guidelines, not set in stone rules you have to take a hammer and chisel away to break through because, well, I just want to write this story this way. Number 3, character development. For a short story, you generally have 1 or 2 characters, and you're not going into great depth for them. It's all snappy and sweet. Well, maybe not sweet if you're doing a horror book, but the point is, you're in and you're out. You just show 1 trait for each character and little to nothing more. Where if you're doing a novel-length story, you do need to delve deep into your character motivations and the backstory, again without doing info dumps. Not to mention, this is where you can have a whole cast of characters, with allies for each of the villain and the protagonist. All the side characters that go with that as well, from major side characters, like a love interest or anything like that, to those who are nothing more than cameos. Number 4, your plot complexity. In a short story, you generally have a single plot or turning point and conflict. Whereas in a novel, you will be writing many layered conflicts and turning points, multiple twists and turns. Think of it like an orange. You take the peel off to get to the good stuff that you actually eat. Number 5, backstory and world building. With a short story, you can only imply the backstory or any world building, but in a novel, this gives you more time to explore without info dumping again, the rich history of the world you're creating, along with culture and a character backstory. I did do a video some time ago about avoiding info dumps. You can see that in the description, or click on when the card comes up at the end of the video. Number 6, the time span. You may very well guess that a short story covers a shorter time span. That's why they call it a short story. Generally a day or 2 or a few hours, or if it's microfiction, possibly just a couple of minutes. But in a novel, you are free to explore the time with it. This could be over several weeks, months, years, or even generations. Number 7, pacing. Short story, it's quick. with your setup and escalation and a climax and payoff that almost slapped you in the head. For a novel, you can do moments of quiet introspection, like, if only things could have been different. Maybe we wouldn't be in this mess. But of course, if things were different, you wouldn't be writing the short story or long story or whatever the story may be. And then you follow it up with fast-paced scenes. Fight scenes are always fun to have in action thrillers, and car chases, foot chases, and anything in between. Unless your short story is an erotica, you likely won't have love scenes in your short story, or if you do, they will be kind of like a quickie as opposed to a marathon scene like you could have in a novel. Number 8. Themes and symbolism. Short stories focus on one theme or motive. In a novel, you can explore interconnected themes and evolve it over time. You do this by introducing it early but also subtly, and then you build it as you go through the story. I will do a future video on how to evolve theme over time, like maybe the next one, or sometime in the future anyway, so stay tuned to my channel for it. Number 9. Reader engagement. In a short story, you must a lot sooner grab your reader and carry them along with a wild ride. Right from the start. You do this within the first 2 sentences, possibly. In a novel, you still got to take your readers for a wild ride, but you have more time, like maybe the first 2 paragraphs, or 2 pages if you're lucky, to get them to not try and flail out of your arms and be willingly to hop on you, so you give them a piggyback ride through your story. And finally, number 10, the revision process. You should never, ever publish your first draft of anything. And that goes with posts on places as well. Every story needs revisions. With a short story, you will have fewer pages, but you will need it to be almost perfect without any typos. In a novel-length story, this will take a lot more time, obviously, and with a lot more edits to do, from development editing, structural editing, copy editing, and then proofreading. And I just might have a video sometime about the different editing process that you have to do. And by the end, of course, of everything, you may want to take a nap. So there you have it, my 10 things to consider when writing a short story versus writing novels. I hope it helps you and that you liked the video. Have a great day and a great week, and I will see you in 7 days. So long, everybody.